everybody! My name is Crystal, and I really like Metaphor ReFantazio. Today, because I like Metaphor ReFantazio, we are going to make the stupidest tier lists that you didn't know that you needed. Why? Because I felt like it and I thought it would be fun. So everyone, wave, say hi to YouTube. I made a community post here and I said I need ideas. And there are 220 comments. We're gonna make our tier lists as we go. Spoilers, yes. So the very first one on here is most likely to accidentally become the defendant in an Ace Attorney trial. This is actually really good. Take that! Okay, so we could start with the protagonist. Although the protagonist, like, I get nothing. What do we do with the prince? Like, are you just like a basic bitch defendant? Defense attorney? Okay, I feel like this is a good structure now. I like that I read Maria in S tier. You want Maria to be unapologetically the murderer? No! Why? She's a witness. Maria's a witness. Gallica, she's the assistant. Yeah, she would be like the Maya. But Stroll? The vibes I get off of Stroll, what if he was like a Larry, where he is just like this crazy witness? I don't know. He would be the main character. Yeah, he would be a defense attorney. But I want to say that I get a stronger vibe from Witness off of Stroll personally. Fidelio would be the victim, bro. No. You know what? Fidelio, I think, would be a prosecutor. He would be that bitch, and I cannot think of any other headcanon for him. All right, Hulkenberg. I do think she would be a defendant. She would be one of those defendants where you just genuinely know that she didn't do it because she has like this pure heart. All right, Mr. Heismay, the dad. Oh God. I can see Heismay being a defendant too, and being like stuck in these wrong circumstances.
My son must wait just a little while longer.
Actually, wait, he's like that in the game. He's literally the accused in the game. I forgot that that's how he was introduced. Yes. Okay, so yes, he's the defendant. Juna! How many of you think that Juna would make a great prosecutor? She would be like a really badass prosecutor. She's a crazy witness. Ooh! Oh! I can see her being a crazy witness, and she has this like transformation sequence where she looks like at some point that she might be the witness, but she also might be the murderer, but it's not really real. But her hair just does like the performance thing where it goes and then she looks like super evil for a second, but it's just because she's like protecting a friend or something. But I still think she would be a good prosecutor too. All right, next, Yufa. What if like Yufa committed accidental murder? Wait, the way that she roasts people though.
If I might ask, I've been wondering for some time, but what about you is actually beautiful?
Silence! That is accidental murder. All right, next up, we have Basilio. Oh my God, okay, but like, hear me out. If Juna and Fidelio are prosecutors, what if Basilio was one too with them? I know Basilio isn't very prosecutor worthy, but I just like the idea that the three of them do. He's Gumshoe. Oh, wait, I don't have a thing for a detective. Do we need to add one? Basilio is Gumshoe. Oh. Gee Willikers, I wonder where Luis is gonna go. Jeez, I wonder. Luis gets framed for the first murder, but actually did the second murder. Oh, we don't have a judge category. I feel like Nearest would be a good judge. He's like the crazy judge. Nearest is the definition of a crazy witness. Okay, I see you there. What about Grius? Victim category? Oh no. No victim category. No victim category. Grius was super stoked to kill a man in broad daylight. True. The person I can really see being a judge is actually Moore. He's smart, but like, I feel like he's got more of the judge personality. I feel like Balin would just be a witness. Next, we have Brigida. She would unapologetically murder. Brigida would be like, I did it. They took my dog. Yeah, she would be. Fabian, I feel like would be the defendant. Oh God, what the fuck do we do with Alonzo? I feel like Alonzo would be that prosecutor that pisses me the fuck off, but I love him so much. Like Edgeworth, yes. All right, we have Bawden. Oh God. Maybe he'd be like a gumshoe-coated detective like Basilio. Katharina. She just accidentally punches a guy too hard. That could work. I could see her being an accidental murderer. Rella, low-key prosecutor. Ooh. Prosecutors can be murderers too. I think that prosecutor Rella slaps. Oh God, Forden. Unapologetically the fucking murderer. Zorbin time. Oh my God, can Zorba be a crazy witness though? Lord Luis didn't do it. All right, next up, Godot. You think he's like Pain? I guess he could be like Pain in the sense of like he has no backbone. We definitely got a very wide array of prosecutors. Alonzo Prosecutor is definitely my favorite. If somebody who can write fan fiction can make an AU of Alonzo being a prosecutor, I would love you forever. So Adeni, Judge Adeni. Actually, wait, because Adeni has his like really silly moments, doesn't he? Like the judge would. Yeah. All right, next up, Gladel. This bitch. I feel like he'd be a crazy witness first and foremost. That would end up being an accomplice to the murder. Jin. Jin sucks. Next up on the list, we have Lena. She's so cute. Accidental murder, runs someone over with a gauntlet runner. She has a lot of heart vibes. I can see her being a lot of heart because she has like ulterior motives.
Once I'm in charge, I'll commission runners for everyone in the kingdom. And Caden Workshop won't have to worry about turning a profit ever again.
Yeah, I can see it. The world's biggest racist. Rudolph would be corrupted prosecutor. Oh, are you? I immediately thought of Van Zeeks. Van Zeeks, but no redemption. All right, I like it. All right, next up we have Loveless. I think the first thing that comes to mind is Loveless being a crazy witness. I can also see Loveless being the defendant too, though. I think defendant. Another asshole. We have Milo. Would he be an unapologetic murderer? Oh, he was ugly, Your Honor, so I killed him. All right, I think this is the final chart. All right, next person says, we clearly need to make a tier list of who you think will be the best dancer. I have not even thought about this. The protagonist, I feel, you know, if I'm comparing to Persona 3, 4, 5, they're actually pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't see the prince necessarily being that good. Like, he can balance on a sword and he can, that sounds really weird to say out loud. Like, he can ride his sword pretty well. Anyway, he's not as good. Now, Stroll, I think, is actually a pretty decent dancer. If I had to imagine, I imagine Stroll to be close to, like, Yosuke, which is actually pretty good A tier. Now, Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg, I don't see being a good dancer. She has the Beast Walk. See, I can imagine Hulkenberg to be one of those people that thinks the Beast Walk is dancing, and that's, like, all she does, and that's all she can do. Heisme. I can see Heisme breaking it fucking down. Full-on breakdance style. I can see it. I can envision it. Like, I can just see him whipping out the moves like it's nothing. He could be his own dance group with his clones. Dude, so true, though. Is he better than Stroll, though? Or, like, is Heisme on the S tier? I think I might change my mind later on Heisme. I have to think on it a little bit. Now, Juna, I see her very similar to Rise, where it's like she's a singer, but performance-wise, she's not like amazing. She's like just basic. I think she's better coordinated than the prince. All right, now Basilio. He's a vibin' type of dancer. Maybe like a C tier? Bro hits the gritty. It's so hard for me to picture. Oh, a good comparison. I think Basilio is very similar to like Shinji dancing. All right, Yufa. I see her being like Fuka. Generously give her like very end of the B tier. Louise. Okay. I think my brain short-circuited just trying to think of how Luis would dance. Okay, I can see him doing like ballroom dances. I can see him doing like waltzes. I think that he perfectly goes with the protagonist. Do I think he's better than me? Yes. I don't want to imagine Luis like this. I'm gonna put him over Juna. I think Luis is king of the B tier. Can Gallica dance? I think she'd be like queen of the C tier. She would use magic to make her dance better. Get out of here, Ultima. All right, next we have Grius. He had Fabian. He has to be at least a little bit of a smooth dancer. No. Fabian would take the like male lead role, so to speak, and like lead on Grius more than the other way around. Speaking of Fabian though, right here. All right, Barden. I think he might be the worst dancer in this entire game. Now we have Maria. She gets her own tier. Neurus, I imagine to be similar to a Ryuji, but has more coordination than Ryuji. All right, next up we have Katharina. I imagine her to be very much like Chie. Chie surprised me whenever I like watched her choreography because I was like, wow, Chie is way better than I expected her to be. I think she's like the bottom of B tier. All right, Alonso. Fucking amazing. Like king of the dance floor. He hits like a smooth criminal. Yes, yes, I can see that though. Okay, he might not be as good as Heisme.
Oh, power of kings. Oh, power of kings. You think yourself equal to a Yuji's agility? Oh, power of kings.
Anyway, Brigitte! I feel like Brigitte is close to Mitsuru, but not quite as good as Mitsuru. She slays the dance floor. Moving on to Moore. Oh God. He's gotta have some Riz, just not like a whole lot of Riz. Why can nobody dance in Metaphor? God damn it. Fidelio. He kind of gives me like Ken vibes. Basilio dances like Shinji. Fidelio dances like Ken. They're the same, but they dance better when they're together. That thought's gonna kill my brain. All right, can Batlin dance, y'all? Okay, I could see Batlin like kind of breaking it down though. Rella. I imagine she used to be like an incredible dancer in her youth, but maybe doesn't have the time to focus on it anymore. Also because she's like, you know, dying. That's kind of cool. I feel like she would be pretty good. I don't even want to imagine Forden dancing. Can we just say that he's like dirt tier? Anyway, Zorbin time. I can actually see him being like a decent hip hop dancer though. Like imagine Junpei, but like a little bit lesser. That would fit Zorba's backstory too. Growing up in the streets. He's better than Rella, not as good as Stroll. Edeni, I feel like should be with Yufa. Actually, he's worse than Yufa. Let me do a demonstration of how I think Edeni would dance based off of FF14. It goes something like... I'm gonna say he's even worse than Hulkenberg. All right, Jin! No, he's at least better than Barden. Oh, can Milo dance? Unfortunately, I think Milo can dance a little bit. Being in high society and all. Loveless, he's had to have some good moves. He's the groovy one. Oh yeah, he is like at very minimum B tier. Gladell, I feel like is kind of terrible. I can see him being very showy and like trying so hard to be a good dancer, but he just can't be that good. I think he's C tier. Racist Rudolph. Oh God. I actually think Rudolph would be pretty decent at dancing, which is kind of sad, but I think he goes right there. Lena. Do we think Lena can dance? I think Lena can. Maybe she is like right below Basilio. Now Godot, maybe he deserves to go in the C tier just on the super back end of it. This is it. This is our dancing tier list. Congratulations, everybody. We did it. Okay, next one that the people want. Characters ranked on how long they'd wait on hold during a phone call before hanging up. Jesus Christ. Okay, the thing is with Luis, like if I think of Luis waiting in like a whole day, I can also see him being like super fed up. Luis threatens the customer service rep's family. Oh my God. You think Marie would wait a whole day? Actually, she kind of would. Protag, I feel like Protag would wait about an hour. I feel like Gallica has a shorter temper, so I think 5 to 10 minutes fits Gallica pretty well. 10 minutes tops for the protagonist, really? You think so? I'll compromise with 30 minutes, how about that? Stroll feels like a whole day out of stubbornness. That's the vibe I was getting too. Hulkenberg would wait all day. I feel like the older you get, the less patience you have, because I feel like Heisme would be a 5 to 10 minute kind of guy. Juna, 5 to 10 minutes. She don't got time for this shit. Yufa, I feel like Yufa would wait all day. Basilio, he would call again after not hearing after a couple minutes, because he thinks that that would be more helpful. Alonso, definitely does not have time for this shit. Same with Brigitte. Brigitte's not fucking waiting. If you're not there for 5 seconds, done. Nearest would wait like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Would Barden wait a whole ass day? Barden would probably wait a whole ass day. Yufa would forget that she's on hold, but only because she was too busy staring at the wall. Yufa seems forgetful. Bass would forget. These feel a little bit more fitting. Katharina would redial. I feel like she would get angry after waiting a couple minutes and she would do it again. I feel like he just deserves his own tier. All right, now we are down to more. Oh God, I feel like he's been waiting his whole life. Fabian, don't feel like she would wait very long. Like she seems like a 5 to 10 minutes kind of gal. Batlin would wait a bit, right? Batlin would wait like 30 minutes at least. Oh, I can also see that. Fabian would be an hour and just cook while she waits. Yeah, she can tend to other people. I feel like she would feel bad. Del would be like 5 seconds and fuck this. Lena, I feel like would wait all day. She would read her marketing campaign. Oh my God, she would too. She would. Loveless though, would get drunk and forget. You think that he's that forgetful? I see you, I see you. Milo, I think would say 5 seconds and fuck this. Like he does not have the time for this. I can't see Rella as a person that would wait all day, but I do think she would wait like a good amount of time. Like I feel like she would wait an hour. Why do I imagine like Zorba being an angry redialer? Like he waits a minute and he's like, ah! And then he just like redials again. Rudolph is definitely a 5 seconds and fuck this kind of guy. Gladel got a lot of angst. I think redial fits Gladel. I feel like Grius would wait 30 minutes at least. Forden doesn't have time to be on hold for anyone. Jin, he would be a 5 seconds and out. Edeni would wait all day, right? I feel like Godot's a 5 to 10 minutes kind of guy. There, this is our beautiful tier list. This is a disaster of a tier list, oh my God. All right, the next top liked one is characters based on what type of fan fiction they would read, oh Jesus. Okay, so let's start off with the protagonist, which is weird, being like fantasy. He would write the fanfic instead, but what if you are the fanfic? All right, I'll buy it, I'll buy it. Gallica, I don't know why I get like a vibe of like alt AU. Stroll, I get a vibe of strict canon from Stroll, like he definitely would read. Hulkenberg though, I can see Hulkenberg being a fluff. Heisme, would Heisme even read fanfic? Slow burn, like traditional old school romance stuff for Heisme? I can see it being a slow burn, I'd buy that. Juna, porn without plot, queen shit. Yufa, she seems fluffy to me. Basilio reads fluff so we can finally get to see a happy story. No. Does Luis just read porn without plot, or has he never looked at a fanfic in his life? He does like the fantasy book in the game, so like he comes across as like an AU kind of fanfic reader. He would write AU for himself as the one to create a new world. He would write it and be like, I'm the ruler. Brigitte secretly loves fluff. You think she's secretly like really fluffy? She is a giant softie on the inside. We know that. How about Marie? Oh no. Marie is too pure for this world. An AU? I can see that. Does Barden even know what a fanfic is? Do we need to make a category that's like, what is a fanfic? Alonzo gives me huge enemies to lovers vibes. I'm glad that we are on the same page. I get that same vibe as well. Enemies to lovers, absolutely. Muris reads porn without plot, but it's with robots. It's like those people that are into dinosaurs fucking cars or something. You think that Nearest is into that? I can see it, but I'll put him in AU. It's more fitting. Fabian is a huge slow burn. Yes, yeah. What is Del reading? Fluff, but he pretends that it's porn? Yes, that is the perfect description for Del. Thank you. You get a gold star for the day, chatter. I feel like Grius gotta know what fanfic is. At least. Grius would read enemies to lovers fanfic. He's had 2 mixed races marriages, so he loves forbidden romance. Oh, okay. That's a fantastic point. You get a gold star for the day too, chatter. Okay. Batlin, would he write the fanfic? No, he's not a writer. He is a writer? All right. That was my first instinct, but I questioned my instinct. But Rella, okay, hear me out. I feel like the more uptight you are about religion, the more likely you are to read porn without plot because you're contained. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, the most religious types are the ones that watch the most porn and read the most porn. I can just see it, okay? Anyway, Moore is the writer. I don't think that that's a question. Oh, Lena's so cute. Do you think Lena just reads pure fluff? AU, like Nearest, happy ending AUs. I see it, I'm with you. Lena reads her marketing slogan, stop. How about Godot? Now, again, I make the same comment that I made with Rella. Porn, he pretends that he doesn't know what fanfic is. I love that, yes. He must have confiscated one porn mag at least once. He confiscated it, read it, and then liked it, and then was scared about the fact that he liked it, and then lives in constant denial that he likes it. Oh God, fucking Milo. It has wants to be purely beautiful. It writes and then self-inserts. No, he would write and then just about himself being beautiful. Rudolph? Oh. He would read an AU of a world that's just Rosance, like a super racist AU. Oh my God, does Forden read fanfic? Forden's gotta know what a fucking fanfic is. Okay, he knows what a fanfic is. I'm gonna say strict canon then. Jin? Oh God. AU. AU sounds the most right for Jin. All right, Gladell. Porn without plot with Louise? Okay. Zorba write it himself. He writes his own fanfic with him and Louise. All right, next up, we have Katharina. Enemies to lovers. What if Loveless is surprising and he like, you know, he's a slow burn kind of guy? Maybe it's like the yin to the yang of being drunk. Does Adeni know what a fanfic is? I don't think he does. This is our tier list. What characters would read fanfics? How they react when they're in the bathroom stall and somebody knocks on the door. I don't know about this one. What does the protagonist do? Protagonist is pretty basic. I feel like they're just gonna say occupied. Who's there? Like as in knock knock joke. You think Mr. Protag is a jokester? Fine. All right, what about Gallica? Does Gallica even shit? Assuming that Gallica shits. Gallica isn't occupied. Opening the door while you're on the toilet, holy shit. Well, if we have a character that feels like they would fit that category, I'll add it, but I don't know if anybody would. Wait, Luis would do that. Luis taking a number 2 and he would open the door as he was shitting. Luis. He gets his own tier, opens the door for them while on the toilet because it's a power move. Anyway, Stroll, let's get back to Stroll. He comes across as like basic, occupied. How about Hulkenberg? I feel like Hulkenberg says come in as a reflex and then panics. I love that. How about Heisme? Heisme is sitting down on the toilet. He's taking a number 2. Someone knocks on the door and farts loudly on purpose. He'd either ignore or knock back. I don't think he would knock back, but I could just say ignore. Okay, next would be Juna. I feel like Juna would just say occupied. I don't think she'd be like funny or anything. Yufa would 100% open the door. Oh my God! You think she would do it as a mistake because she doesn't understand? It would be a completely different context than Louise. God, that's so funny. Basilio's taking a number 2 on the toilet. What does Basilio do next? He would knock back. You think he would knock back? Oh no. Okay. All right, Alonzo. What would Alonzo do? I feel like Alonzo is a who's there kind of guy. Do Nydia Tribe people go on the toilet in their little form or in their glamour? Y'all are asking the real questions. This is, I can't answer that. Has anybody drawn fan art of Alonzo in true form? I really need that in my life. For some reason, I imagine Katharina being like, fuck off, Barden. I feel like as a pussy. Maria is just an occupied. Nearest farts loudly on purpose because he thinks it's hilarious. Fabian's just an occupied, I feel. Godot probably just ignores. Gladell is a fuck off. I get an occupied vibe from Rella. So Batlin's on the toilet. Someone knocks. I imagine he'd be like, he would knock back and then say occupied. He would do both. Batlin would belt out a loud proclamation like he's doing church business. If you're making a loud proclamation, wouldn't that be farting very loudly? You know what? Batlin farts loudly. End of story. What does Moore do? I think Moore just ignores. How about Milo? Milo would ignore because he doesn't want people to think that he shits. Exactly. Brigitte, fuck off. How about Zorba? He opens the door. He's like, no, oh! And he closes it immediately whenever he realizes it's not Luis on the other side. Fuck off. Next up, we have Dell, who is absolutely a fuck off kind of guy. Lena, I also feel like is occupied. Occupied, but did you know about a workshop? Why do I feel like Rudolph would be the person to fart really loudly on purpose? He would do it to assert dominance. Forden, I feel like he ignores. He can't let anyone know. I feel like Jin's a troll. He would be like, come in. And then somebody would try to come in, the door's locked, and he'd be like, like a total asshole. I don't think Adeni says anything. Loveless would fart loudly and then laugh. Okay, I see your vision. All right, this is it. This is the tier list. The next one we got, characters who will be the best at taking care of your pets while on a trip. That's a cute scenario. Louis sets your pets free on purpose. Survival of the fittest. You know he does. Makes the pet love them more than the owner. Definitely throw Alonso up there. Oh, Gladell has Hector. Gladell is gonna do their best to pamper the pet. So the protagonist, I feel like, would just do their best to pamper the pet. Nothing too crazy here. Gallica, I also feel... Does Gallica do a half-ass job? Nah, I feel like Gallica does their best. You think that Stroll gets bossed around, like he fucks up that bad? All right, I'll put him in, lets the pet boss them around instead. Hulkenberg, I feel like will try her best to pamper. Heisme, I also feel like is the pampering type. Oh, maybe Heisme is with Alonso, makes the pet love them more than the owner does. He knows how to get everyone around him to love him, and that includes pets. I feel like Juna would genuinely try to pamper the pet as best as she could. All right, Yufa lets the pet boss them around for sure. She would think she's like some sacrifice for it or something. Basilio, he would cry leaving when it's time to go. Oh, he would. Cares too much. Calls owner every 5 minutes. You would like to volunteer Stroll for that category? Yeah, okay, I can buy that with Stroll. Now, Nuris has to take care of us all the time on the Gauntlet Runner. I feel like he would half-ass the job because he cares too much about his Gauntlet Runner. Would Katharina end up stealing the pet? How about Barden? Clown Barden. We need to put like a dunce cap on his head. It's either he calls too much or he gets bossed around. I feel like he gets bossed around. Now, Brigitte is the only one that actually has a pet and she does her best to pamper the pet. I feel like Loveless would do a half-ass job and or he would end up stealing the pet. I'm gonna say half-ass job though, because I do feel like that's very fitting. How about Zorba? I think he cares too much. I think he calls the owner every 5 minutes. This blessed thing won't eat his damn food. What am I supposed to do? 5 minutes later, he still won't eat. 5 minutes later, he won't take a shit. What do I do? How about Dell? The pet loves him more, but that was not his intention. Ooh. Actually, that's so good. All right, you get a gold star, chatter. He's going up there. How about Maria? Makes the pet love them more than the owner. I feel like Rella's simple. She just does her best to pamper. Fabian, I think just does her best to pamper the pet too. You'll say love more than the owner on accident. Oh, maybe because of food though. Like what if Fabian cooked them like a special amazing dish? Then yes, she would win them over with food that she cooks. Batlin does his best to pamper, maybe? I feel like the pet bosses Grius around. Like he tries so hard, but the pet just wins in the end. Like, sorry, Grius, it just didn't end up working out. Lena! I feel like it's more likely that Lena lets the pet boss them around. Jin would steal it and try to sell it or pawn it off for more money. He would try to profit off of it. So I feel like he would steal and sell. Does Moore care too much? Does he call every 5 minutes? Considering how Moore treats his own kid, I feel like he cares too much. But I also can see him half-assing because he wants to be in his research kind of thing. All right, I'm gonna say Moore half-asses his job. Denny, the pet would end up bossing him around. For sure. Godot lets the pet boss him around too. Would Milo steal a pet or would he set it free? I feel like Milo would set a pet free because it's more beautiful for them to be out in the wild, maybe. Does Forden care at all about pets? Is he our only one that quits on the job? Maybe Forden does quit. I can't see him loving animals like literally at all. Rudolph. He's racist. I'm gonna say he quits on the job. And this is our final tier list for the best at taking care of your pets while you're gone. All right, the next most liked one, character who's likely to enter RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh God. Thinks they are hot shit, but not actually. And I'm just gonna put Milo up there. I just imagine that Milo got like this huge inflated ego that tells him that he'd be so good at this and he would win with flying colors, but like he actually sucks in reality. I feel like out of all the characters that I think of, Moore, I feel like would do the best. All right, so how about the protagonist, the prince? You know what? The prince in like full form though, I feel like I'd be top 10. I feel like I could pull off top 10. I think that Gallica would just be mid. How about Stroll? This is hard to imagine. He'd be okay. Hulkenberg, I actually think would surprise you. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just get a vibe. I just get a vibe. Does Heisme even know what drag is? No. How about Juna? I think that Juna could be top 10. Yufa, I think would be pretty mid. Sorry, Yufa. Okay, but Basilio kind of got the luscious locks of hair, though. I feel like I can envision Basilio making it to top 10. Okay, but Luis? Would Luis be actually queen shit? Like, is he stealing the show with more? I feel like yes. I feel like Del would be one of the first ones to get eliminated. I'm sorry. Maria thinks it's dress up. Oh. Alonso steals. You think Alonso steals the show? I think so too. I would put Alonso above Luis. That's complete bias and I do not care. I can see Katharina getting top 10. Barden definitely doesn't know what it is. Nearest? Yo, Zorba would steal the show! Who would win, Zorba or Moore? Zorba's more... That's a way to describe it. I mean, yeah. Zorba would serve. Jin? Oh, Jesus, first eliminated. Brigitte, though. I feel like Brigitte would get top 10. Loveless? I feel like it's just pretty mid. Wait, maybe Loveless like kind of got this. Maybe Loveless is actually top 10. Forden, I think Forden knows what drag is. He would just be the first eliminated. Grius, I don't even think knows what drag is. Rudolph, he'd be the first eliminated. Igniter Consortium guy, this guy, he would be though. You kinda right. Batlin, I feel like Batlin would be just mid. Lena! Wait, I feel like Lena would be just mid, unfortunately. Rella, top 10 though. Rella top 10. Adeni? Adeni would be so good. Let's say top 10. Godot would be pretty mid. Gladell, I think would go with Milo. Thinks he's hot shit, but not actually. Fabian, Oh, wait, if I actually put Fabian in top 10, we have exactly 10 people in the top 10 category. So you know what? Done and done. This is it. This is RuPaul's Drag Race. I didn't think I'd have so much fun making these stupid ass tier lists, but here we are. But thank you guys for commenting on the community post. We'll definitely be doing more of these in the future. So pay attention to the community posts on YouTube. I'll be taking inputs for like future stream/video ideas. This is only the beginning. I feel like Alonso would be that prosecutor that pisses me the fuck off, but I love him so much.